wamesema wananchi wapewe maji bure, hata ndururu hakuna kulipa.
Wakati COVID iliingia ilikuwa tunanunua maji 20 bob.
Sometimes unapata unataka kupika, maji haiko.
Tunachota maji hapa karibu, atulipii.
Now with 193 boreholes, most of the disadvantaged and informal settlements have sufficient water.
In total now, we are producing over 42 million liters of water per day.
This is one of the highest social impact projects implemented within a very, very short time.
Images of wananchi in various parts of Nairobi Metropolitan accessing free clean water under the Independent Community Water Project that has been implemented following a directive by President Uhuru Kenyatta as part of the war against the COVID-19 pandemic.
Sometimes unapata unataka kupika, maji haiko, inabidi unaenda mwendo mrefu kwenda kuchota maji. Lakini kwa saa hii iko karibu, hautumii pesa, mambo yako yanakuwa haraka.
Beleni maji ilikuwa inatusubua juu. Saa yenye hii stima imepotea tulikuwa na shida mingi juu tunaenda mahali bari sana kutafuta maji, na maji yenye unaenda kutafuta ni ya kisima yenye huwezi trust kuikunywa kama kwa nyumba yako. Lazima utafute maji ya kunywa safi, ndio ile ya kisima tena nayo igharamie saidi nyingine kama kufua na kuosha nyumba. Lakini hii hakuna taswiswi nayo.
Sometimes nilikuwa naenda kuqueue far like 700 meters huko. Ilikuwa ina take time sana. Na ilikuwa costly, but at least hii I cost anything.
Akina mama amefurahi mzima sasa taanza hata kutafuta kaboga hapo nje ya nyumba. Anakuza kitunguu. Sasa unaona Mungu amefanya mzuri. Tumefurahi sana na mwenye kutuletea hii maji.
Phase 1 and 2 of this project saw 93 boreholes constructed in 3 months by end of June 2020. Since then, 100 more have been sunk.
We have so far, since President Uhuru Kenyatta directed us to implement this project, implemented 193 such projects serving 2.1 million people across. It is a project worthwhile in terms of making sure that we have water for supporting hygienic practices, particularly hand washing in this space of COVID season. And therefore, I must say it is not only delivering water for people to use in their homes, it is also supporting us in keeping hygienic practices, which are part of the health protocols that have been served by the Ministry of Health to keep corona virus at bay.
The 193 boreholes are spread across 5 counties, namely Nairobi, Kiambu, Murang'a, Machakos, and Kajiado. The project has been implemented by the Nairobi Metropolitan Services in partnership with Athi Waterworks Development Agency, among other partners.
We have built a water kiosk in every location of the borehole. Those water kiosks are managed by the youth of those respective areas. This is to cut down cartels of people who usually go and take water from government resources. 2, they know themselves within that area or slum. They'll be able to manage and know the outsider coming to take their water. 3, it is better for maintenance of that area if there are youths of those areas manning that distribution throughout.
The informal settlements are unique because they have been relying on water hooked in those areas, and most of the people there cannot afford to link their houses individually. So some cartels have sort of taken advantage over the people who live there, and sometimes the water is sold expensively. The people cannot afford, and therefore we are looking into making sure that even in the future, through the affirmative action, because we have money that is set aside for taking care of these less privileged areas.
The project, which has been hailed as a life-changing initiative, has cost about 1.7 billion Kenya shillings.
The total cost of each of these independent community water supply project is about 10 million, comprising of the borehole itself, the pumping system, the elevated steel tank that is about 18 meters high, at least 2 water kiosks within a radius of about 1 kilometer. In total now, we are producing over 42 million litres of water per day.
President Uhuru Kenyatta has been busy on the ground commissioning the water kiosks, which go hand in hand with other projects spearheaded by NMS, for example, health facilities, all aimed at bringing services closer to mwananchi in informal settlements.
Mimi nilikuwa na ahadi, nataka kumalizia kazi hizi ya maji, ya barabara na ya hospitali katika mji wetu wa Nairobi.
Vile president alikuja akafungua, tulikuwa hapa, watu walikuwa wamerundikana hapa na mitungi wakingojea president akifungua maji wayachote. Akatutangazia kuwa maji ni free, hakuna malipo yote kwa maji. Sasa wananchi walifurahia, wakachota maji, wakatoka hapa wakifurahia, wakirudi kwao kwa manyumba yao.
Shukuru rais wetu wa Kenya, ameweza kutuletea maji karibu, hospitali na barabara mzuri, na tunamshukuru sana.
Alikuja akatufungulia hospitali tuko nayo hapa Soweto, alafu pia akatufungulia maji.
Maji hutumika kwa watoto haswa kuosha mikono, kunywa, kuosha madarasa yao na vile vile kunadhifisha vyoo vyao ambavyo wanatumia mara kwa mara. Kwa hivyo ningependa kusema kwamba mradi huu umekuja kwa wakati ambao unafaa, kwa sababu ya janga hili la corona. Ingekuwa shida kubwa kwetu kama tungekuwa na mradi huu.
The completion of the 193 boreholes coincided with the first anniversary of the Nairobi Metropolitan Services.
That has gone very well. But remember, still people have to walk a distance to reach the borehole. So the long-term plan will be to connect that borehole water with piping to households within those informal settlements. That, I believe, will cater for all the needs of water, because people will have running water in their houses. But this will require a huge budget to connect all those almost 200 boreholes to different households.
And there are other stakeholders apart from NMS and Athi Waterworks Development Agency.
The Office of the President directly is involved, because that is where the budgets are being voted. My colleagues in National Treasury is required to avail the resources to my ministry. The ministry then does appropriate the resources for implementation under the Athi Waterworks, as it were. But in the process, like in the county of Nairobi, the NMS is a very important collaborating and implementing agency, because they are not only collaborating with us, they are indeed the ones delivering the last mile to the consumers. And in the event there is any gap, they are the ones who give feedback to Athi Water or to my office to be able then to rectify.
Water service providers like the Nairobi City Water and Sewerage Company, for the case of Nairobi County, are also key to the success of this project.
Remember that all water infrastructure, when it comes to laying piping, sinking the boreholes, is Athi Water. In terms of management of that water, it is Nairobi Water and Sewerage Company. They do day-to-day running. But all major infrastructure is done by Athi Water. So we do collaborate because all these projects will go hand in hand by all of us. Ours is mainly supervision in order to ensure that Nairobi citizens do get enough water. Nairobi Water is administration, of course, ensuring the quality of water is safe for drinking. Athi Water is to maintain infrastructure, digging, maintenance of the pumps, and so forth.
These achievements are timely, coming ahead of the World Water Day to be observed on the 22nd of March 2021 with the theme Valuing Water, rhyming with the objectives of the Independent Community Water Project.